Hello, welcome to Starlight Cafe. I'm Haley, and today we're going to be talking about Kpop Demon Hunters. A quick summary for those who've never seen the movie and don't want any spoilers. Basically, you've got this K-pop group who also have the ability to see and slay demons, and the main character basically has this secret that she's keeping from the rest of her group, and you follow her trying to maintain that secret and the consequences of hiding those things from her friends. Probably the best way that I could describe the movie without giving too much spoilers. So if you don't want any spoilers, I would recommend clicking off the video, because I can't promise that I won't spoil anything. I'll give you 3, 2, 1. Alright. Thank you for those who are sticking around. So, I really liked a lot of things about this movie. I really liked the art. It was very stylistic, and I really liked the colors they used. The animation was very fluid, very Sony. If you've ever seen the Into the Spider-Verse movies, or at least the first one, I haven't actually seen the other ones, but it's very similar to that in the way that they animate. And then the music obviously is so good that in the real world, it is topping K-pop charts. Speaking of which, if I may, my favorite songs from this, I used to say Your Idol and Golden, which I know is very basic, but honestly, now that it's been quite some time since the movie's been out, I find myself singing Takedown in my, humming Takedown or singing it in my head or whatever, a lot more often. Which is really surprising, because it was probably the song I was least into when the movie came out. My biggest gripe with this movie, really, is that it was a movie. I think it might have done better as a show, because we could have had more time to really linger on. For example, when Rumi's secret about, being a demon was revealed to the rest of Huntrix, we could have really lingered on that and, seen, the consequences of that, and, Mira and Zoe being on their own, and Rumi being on her own, and having to, deal with that for longer than, I don't know, 10 minutes in movie time that Rumi was actually alone. We could have gotten, an episode or 2 episodes, a half hour or an hour of just Huntrix separated, That was disappointing. Also, another problem I have with the movie is Zoe. Because I wanted to like her, and then she just, I just didn't get anything. She just felt like a side character. She's supposed to be one of the most important characters, but I don't know, she just didn't seem to have a whole lot of, character to me. And then, Mira, at least with Mira, I can say, oh yeah, she's kind of the real feisty one, When she detected that Rumi was keeping secrets, she started biting back, what are you doing? What are you hiding from us? What's going on? But Zoe was just kind of there. And then obviously there was a lot of focus put on Rumi and Jinu. Rumi was definitely the most interesting character. She's trying to keep the secret from Huntrix, and she keeps meeting up with Jinu, and every time that happens, I'm thinking to myself, what if she gets caught? What if Huntrix, follows her out? What if Mira and Zoe follow her out and see her meeting up with Jinu? That's not suspicious at all. Especially when they find out she's a demon. Speaking of Jinu, I thought the tiger and the bird were cute. So I do take issue with Celine and her role in the movie, because she's supposed to be this role model figure, and she's just kind of a really bad parental figure. She only watched Rumi, or raised Rumi, out of obligation to her friend, but then was looking down on her the whole time. She's always shoving this ideal down these girls' throat of, I can't remember the exact quote, but it was something to the effect of, always hide your flaws, and, basically, they've got to be perfect. And I just think that's kind of BS. Because you're clearly not that old. You could be out here helping these girls. What are you doing? My fears or flaws and whatever must never be seen. girl, Rumi needs help, and you're not helping her. Maybe, I guess you can make the argument that, like, oh, well, her idea of helping is hiding the fact that she's a demon. But my thing is, right, is like, to me, honesty is always the best policy. Because what happens when your friends find out that you've been keeping this secret? They're gonna leave anyway. Like, if you're upfront and honest, people respect that more. I just think it was silly. I think that Rumi hiding being a demon from her friends for what had to be, what, years at least, if not, what, like a decade? I don't know. They're pretty young, so I guess I don't know how long they've been together. But, girl, just be honest, alright? And also, how have they not been suspicious? She just always wears long sleeves, and they never, like, I would have been like, you know, is she like... Hello, sorry about that. It's been like 2 or 3 days since I started recording, and I had to stop because I ran out of time. But, moving on. So, yeah, I think it's strange that Zoe and Mira didn't get suspicious of Rumi, but I guess it is what it is. Just a small gripe on my part. And I do mean a very small gripe. But circling back around, because it looks like I forgot to finish talking about Genu, or even start talking about Genu. If I remember correctly, basically Genu sold out his family to keep singing, or give himself a better singing voice. I'd have to go back and rewatch the movie to get an exact idea of where he's at. But as far as Genu in the present day, I guess you could say, I mean, I think it's like nice the relationship they had, and I was pretty bummed out when he didn't help Rumi towards the end of the movie. Well, towards the climax of the movie. But at the same time, as somebody who has attempted many a times to write stories and has listened to or watched probably hundreds of video essays on writing and storyboarding and storytelling in general, I guess you could say, like, it was predictable that was going to happen, because they were on kind of opposite sides of this moral fight, you could say. That said, it was still enjoyable to watch, and that song they sang together, I think it was called Free, amazing. Definitely not top 5 though, but that's not a downgrade for the song itself. The song is good, it's just that the whole soundtrack is good. So it would be like on a tier list, you know, you've got your S tiers and your A tiers, and it's not that A tier is bad, it's that S tier is better. So that's about where we're at with that. The rest of the Saja boys, completely uninteresting. I don't care about them. They didn't really have any character at all in the movie. The designs were nice, you know, but Genu was pretty much the only relevant Saja boy character for the whole movie. And I don't know what the sequel is going to bring, because at the time of recording this, I've heard rumors of a sequel. I haven't gotten confirmation on that, but that's more due to me not really looking into it in the first place. It's more passing news for me. So to round out this whole review, where does Kpop Demon Hunters stand for me? If I had to give it a rating out of 5 stars, I'd probably give it like a 3.5 to a 4. Yeah, probably like a 3.5 or a 4. It's pretty good. I mean, I would watch it again. Probably will watch it again and again, and I listen to the songs like they're on my actual playlists, like with non-movie music, like Sabrina Carpenter and Olivia Rodrigo. Like it's on the playlist. I listen to it. So yeah, it was a very good movie, and I'm excited for the sequel. But anyway, thank you guys for sticking around and listening. Hopefully I get better at this whole like YouTube / I don't know what else, this kind of podcasty review thing I've got going on. And in the future, I plan on doing like more reviews of TV shows and movies, and I don't know, maybe music, maybe video games, but definitely TV and movies. Oh, and anime, if you want to count that as a separate thing. Probably will be a lot of anime in the future as well. I'm still learning how to edit and having to work with free programs that I can use on my phone or my Chromebook, because apparently a Chromebook is not a laptop. It's just a glorified tablet. Didn't know that when I bought it. Wish I hadn't spent the money I did. I would have spent it on something that was more useful in the long term. This has been Haley from Starlight Cafe. Thank you for joining us. Can't wait to see you next time. Bye bye.